Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Big up everybody that joined us from the A-Listers show from Don HUSAM's channel, of course. That was a great and a fantastic debate about Manchester United, how big they are, and Van der Ven and Saliba and Konate and everyone. But we got a special show for you today. We're talking about the board giving Ten Hag 2 games to save his job. So basically, they're backing him. They're hoping that he does well so they can keep him at the job. Bruno Fernandes, a lot of Man United fans want him out of the club, of course. And tomorrow, this morning, someone raised the question about the ceiling of Cole Palmer versus Haaland versus Bukayo Saka. Who has the higher ceiling? Who will win Ballon d'Or first, if any of them will win Ballon d'Or first? We got a special show for you. Of course, we got Nina, of course, here as you see in the thumbnail. As ever, glowing, of course, supporting Chelsea. Of course, with the... You actually witnessed that Cole Palmer performance live. So that was glorious, of course, from the stadium. Big up Nina, of course, she's here. And Mohamed Salah is back. He's back on the channel, of course, after a while. He's back on the channel. And Armenia is here, guys. Of course, you know Armenia from all the rankings. 100 players better than Mohamed Salah and 100 players better than whoever.
One guy, bro. That was AI.
He wasn't here. But big up everybody. Hit that like button as Luke. Appreciate you, Luke, for the super chat. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button, guys, on your way in, as you see on the screen, of course. And we'll just get right into it. We'll start with Ten Hag, of course. Mohamed Salah, the biggest Ten Hag backer on YouTube, of course, 100% Salah. Bruno Fernandes, you absolutely vouch for him everywhere you go.
Love Bruno. Fernandes. Love Bruno.
Worst. Okay, let me just put a statement down. He's the worst ever captain in the history of the Premier League.
That's nonsense.
As
How?
a captain.
Just because he shows his passion and he reacts in a way that you might not like doesn't mean he's the worst captain. Who else do you give the captain's armband to at Man United? That's the state of Man United. He's by far and away their best.
Anyone but him.
He's by far and away their best player, and every United fan most United fans tell you he's by far and away the best player. He's the most influential player. He doesn't miss a game. You feel me? Like he's not been good this year, but that can be attributed to the fact that he's played 5 years straight, every single minute in every single competition. You know what I'm trying to say? Ten Hag, that's a completely different conversation. You feel me? Like that was about a year and a half ago. The last time I was on this show, God knows how long. You feel me? Ten Hag situation. My whole thing last year was when he has his pieces, if he has his pieces and he's still not showing up, there's a problem. I said at the start of the season, okay, they licked Lautaro Martinez, Dalot, Mazraoui, Onana. If they're healthy, there's no excuse for United to be terrible. Right, and they have been terrible, and that's where my thing with Ten Hag stops. Last year they had 19 different centre-back partnerships. That is a legitimate excuse for any manager. This year that's not been the case, and he's still been bad. So I've got nothing else to say. You feel me? There's no Ten Hag backing left for me to do. I feel like United have just not been great. But he's got a lot to blame for that. I'm not going to say he's a completely terrible manager because I think he can go somewhere else and be successful. But I think right now, time for change is somewhat necessary in terms of Ten Hag.
You're cutting out, number one. Just okay. But the fact that you say Bruno Fernandes is the most influential player at Manchester United, that is absolutely false. He might be a good player.
Who is the most influential player?
See the difference. I didn't speak about his football ability. I only spoke about him being the worst captain. You being the best player doesn't mean you can be a captain. He has the worst attitude on the pitch. He's not a leader. He just complains.
No, I mean, you saying he's got a terrible attitude. There's people that say Cristiano Ronaldo had a terrible attitude. They just care. It's not a
he
terrible
doesn't care. I think he plays for personal glory.
Okay, that's fine.
Bro, Bruno Fernandes plays for personal glory.
That's because did he tell you that? Did he text you and be like, you know what, today I'm trying to do this for myself. My fantasy points mean a lot to me.
And did he tell you he cares? Did he tell you he cares?
You can visit. No, the thing is,
did you have his number, bro?
No, but you're interpreting it in a certain way. And
I am interpreting it in a way. You are interpreting it the other way. Let the people decide.
But the thing is, everyone around him, even the Portuguese players, they'll tell you not many people care as much as Bruno Fernandes. But you, Mo the judge, the streamer, wants to tell me, he's just doing it for personal gain. But everyone that speaks on Bruno has nothing but glowing things to say. But streamers on YouTube will tell you otherwise. You know what I'm trying to say? You see what my problem is?
That I am saying that, and the other players, people will not bash him out. His teammates, the Portuguese teammates, will not come out and say this guy is this and that. Nobody will do that. Nobody will say that. They might say it 20 years from now, bro. They might say it 20 years from now.
The thing is that when there's negativity surrounding the club, journalists and the media, they say things. You feel me? Not a single report has come out that people are irritated with Bruno Fernandes or that Bruno Fernandes is such and such and such. You only hear it on YouTube from streamers. You
really think this guy can be a captain material?
Maybe not, right? Okay. But my point is, who else do you give the captaincy to at Manchester United?
Anybody? Okay, I answered this. Anybody but him.
Does that make sense to you, bro?
Do you see how bad I view his captaincy?
I don't think it's even like a mentality thing. I think even as a footballer, what does it mean for the state of our beautiful sport if we're regarding this guy as like an elite creator? Someone that spends 90 minutes launching the ball like a missile until one lands. This is what we're regarding as an elite creator. Forget about how he throws tantrums.
But that's factually incorrect though, because him and De Bruyne are identical in terms of losing the ball. They both lose the ball the exact same. So if he's launching the ball, then De Bruyne launches the ball. You know what I'm trying to say? De Bruyne's a much better player. Don't get twisted.
No, De Bruyne's a much better player. Don't get twisted. It's the same scenario, bro. It's the same.
The mic is cutting out a little bit.
Sorry. You know what? Let me just connect my AirPods to the microphone.
It's because the manufacturer of the mic knows that what he's saying is nonsense. That's why they don't want him to get whatever he's trying to say.
My camera's not good, Moser. Mic's not good. It's all going wrong tonight.
Right. Nina, what do you think? Bruno Fernandes, football player.
I mean, in terms of like what Mo said about who do you give the captaincy to, I think that's kind of something that well, me as a Chelsea fan has kind of related to recently, but I think it's come with the fact that the culture at both clubs has kind of really changed in the last couple of years, and obviously with the shift and both clubs kind of undergoing this massive change. It's going well for some, not so well for some currently, but I think that's a big question. Like, who do you give the captaincy to? And there's not that many worthy other candidates. I guess with Bruno, he was given it for his footballing ability. I didn't really see him as a vocal leader, kind of. I mean, vocal, yeah, to the refs and stuff, yeah, but not necessarily one that kind of encourages and lifts the players, in a sense, or at least that's kind of, as a rival fan, the sense I've gotten. But I think it was purely given from a footballing perspective, from him being a regular starter, again, with so much kind of interchanging players, dropping and coming back into lineups at Man United recently as well. I think that's probably played into it a little bit as well. But yeah, who else do you give it to? I know, Mo, you say anyone, but who would you really see as a captain?
I'll give it to Dallo. I'll give it to Dallo.
Dallo's a good shout. I mean,
I don't like Lisandro Martinez, but
the thing is, this is all just you not liking Bruno, because he was a captain at Sporting Lisbon. He's worn the armband for Portugal a few times.
And what happened at Sporting Lisbon? He left, and then what happened?
Bro, everyone at Sporting, even since he's left, says he's the best. Come on, bro.
They won.
He left. They keep on giving him pat on the back, but then they go and win trophies without it.
So now you're talking about his footballing ability, because him winning is nothing to do with him being a captain.
No, but you were talking about how much he did at Sporting.
You know what the problem was?
I didn't. No. I'm just countering the point of him being a terrible captain. If he was such a terrible captain, he wouldn't have been a captain at Sporting, and he wouldn't have worn the armband at Portugal a few times. Like when Ronaldo's not.
But he did, and he didn't achieve anything for Portugal.
I think it's because he's a more outspoken player.
The thing is, we're not talking about achieving things, though. It's too complete. We're talking about being a terrible captain. If he was such a terrible captain at Man United, as Mo is saying, the worst captain ever in the Premier League, he wouldn't have been a captain multiple places. You feel me?
How can he be motivated when you're looking at your captain, your leader? You know, I used to, when I was growing up, I was playing alongside Tony Adams. I was playing alongside Butcher. Now I'm watching guys like Bruno. They're crying to the ref over every single foul. I cannot look at that and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm motivated. I want to go to war for this guy. I don't look at that. And then the same for Ten Hag. I look at him and I say, you look like some buffoon. What are you doing there, bro? Off you pop, man. So you have to have someone that you can be looking up to, surely, no?
I mean, to be fair, if you want,
you know, the problem with Ten Hag. Can I respond to this a little bit before you come in? One of the things that I said.
Last thing about the Bruno thing is, if you want to talk about Bruno captaincy, that's up to you. Fair enough, innit? But me, I've never really said he's a great leader. I've not said anything about his captaincy. I've just always defended Bruno, the player. You feel me?
He's also meaty, but it's cool. It's cool. Continue. It's cool.
He's not, though. I mean, again, that's opinion.
So you're saying that Bruno Fernandes is the same level as KDB, for example?
I did not say that.
Okay, is he in the same universe?
No, he's not. He's a tier below KDB, but there's not many KDBs in the world. I think he's a tier or a level or so below KDB, but that's it.
He's a good player. I get. He's not a horrific player, but I don't think he's that all this. Like, I don't think he's a tier below KDB. 2-3 tiers before KDB.
Okay, here we are. Okay,
yeah.
I think anyone would struggle to be.
I think him and Odegaard are on the same level, and then that's when you talk about production, and also and Odegaard in a much better. Get the hell out of here. This is where you stop doing this nonsense, bro. Where he's just running agendas. I'm not gonna sit here.
Better than the guy, bro.
James Maddison, who had 2-3 months at the start of last season where he was elite and everyone was like fantastic, and then hasn't.
And then he got injured. Are you gonna blame him for the injury now?
I'm not gonna blame. And do you know who doesn't get injured and has played every single game since he came to the league? Bruno Fernandes. Are we not gonna give him props for that? No.
That's a human body. Like, I'm gonna give him for the. Okay.
I just heard Salad say he'll never, be comparing Bruno and KDB. May 25th, 2024. Bruno outplaying KDB, Rodri, Bernardo on the biggest stage in front of everyone.
I need this sent to me so we can show the people. I need this.
Bro, that was the FA Cup final, and we saw how he played in that FA Cup final. Come on, bro. I see that. It's there. Everyone saw that. Bruno Fernandes outplayed them. No, but I'm talking about overall. I'm not comparing them, but in that particular game, Bruno Fernandes was levels above them. Above them. But
did you tweet about Bruno in the last game then? Because if we're talking about individual games, did you tweet about how? Oh, that's not my fault then. I'll tell you what happened. He made Maddison and Bentancur look like Zico and Socrates 1982. That's what was happening. Bruno was stinking it up, and then he went and got sent off for a petulant swipe of the foot.
I saw you said that was never a red
Definitely
card.
not red card.
That was not a red card.
Okay,
Yeah, but let me continue the agenda a little bit.
You see what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to be here for that.
My dislike for the player will never cloud my judgment. That was never a red card in a year. If you played football, you know that. It's never a red card.
I think that helped him honestly because he was having a stinker. So that's his excuse now.
But United as a whole.
Can I ask you guys something for real? Do you guys think he ran away from the game like he did before? Launching like this.
When did he run away from the game?
He did it before. He has history with doing this.
He's
running away from the game, asking for the red card. He's lucky that he didn't hit Madison with the studs.
I mean, to me,
he slipped though. He didn't. The foot only went that high because he slipped. You can see that.
He was from the replays. Madison.
Lack of balance.
Yeah, fine. I mean, it was a regular. I mean, normally it's a yellow card. It's your regular malicious professional foul, whatever you want to call it. The slip is what made it look more dangerous. That wasn't. I mean,
really? Nina, what were you saying? Yeah.
I mean, no, I was just going to say, to answer your question, would he have run away? Firstly, that's not very captain-esque, is it? But secondly, even if he didn't slip, I know he slipped, but he wasn't getting anywhere near that ball, firstly. So obviously the slip did help massively. Initially, without the slow-mo, without like the still images, it looked like it was studs up to me. That's why initially I was like, oh, then it wasn't. Not red, I agree. But come on, there's no way he ran away from that. There's no way he was asking for a red card. That's like Bruno Fernandes.
That's a very streamer thing to say. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That is very extremist, mode.
Didn't he do that in the 5-0 Liverpool? Didn't he do that in a game when they were losing bad and he ran away from the game?
How did he run away? What did he do?
I think he got
it was Pogba. No, Pogba was the one that he did a run.
Pogba? Oh, okay, so maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah. So maybe Bruno doesn't have history with that.
No. Yeah, it was Pogba where he was kicking the ball out left and right, and then he just got himself sent off after coming on.
Run away from the game.
Yeah. Bruno.
No, but he did that on the weekend. He did that on the weekend.
I stand corrected.
No, he didn't know. But it wasn't supposed to be a red card.
But he didn't watch it. It's cool. You don't know.
No, but I saw the tackle though. Maybe
he tried to kick the ball away afterwards to get a second yellow. You don't know. You didn't watch it, innit? So how do you know?
Match of the day, bro.
Listen, to speak about Ten Hag and Manchester United, I gotta think that people, let's get the likes up, guys. Hit that like button underneath your live chat. It helps the show. It helps the channel massively. Hit that like button, people. That new thing that Man United board haven't sacked Ten Hag yet. A lot of people are tweeting Man United are not acting like a big club. Would the big club keep their manager losing 3-0 at home to Spurs, 3-0 at home to Bournemouth, 3-0 at home to their biggest rivals, and the manager is still there? Would a big club act like this? Are Man United just a big club by name now? I keep raising this question because I would never accept my club, right, being in this position. No matter who the manager is. And Salah, Inter sacked manager after 5 games and 7 games before when the results don't go their way. No matter what the circumstances are.
Even Napoli did it last year. Sacked 2 managers before December last year.
That is what I'm saying. This notion of stability. There's no stability here. This guy is horrific. He needs to be sacked. And people, he wants to protect the job. If this guy gets sacked, he'll get 17 million. I don't feel sorry for him. For his job or whatever. He's going to get 17 million pounds.
To be fair, they tried to replace him in the summer and they just couldn't find an ideal candidate. That's why
they kept him. That's the only reason. Realistically, who was out there available in summer is pretty much
many.
I'm trying to say
many managers.
Who was my point is who was available in summer is pretty much who is kind of available now is my point. So there is not much of a difference in regards to what's out there for Manchester United to replace Erik Ten Hag with currently. That's why I don't think that they sacked him in the first place. And they kind of dug themselves in a hole a little bit because they wanted to give him a chance, supposedly, because I think at the end of the day, when evaluating every manager, Erik Ten Hag still kind of came out on top, purely lying on the foundation of the 2 cup trophies, the kind of 2 years under his belt of knowing this team and said, right, cool, he can have another transfer window. So I think now it's kind of almost too late to back out. It's almost too early and too late at the same time. And I think that's the worst part there for them because I think there's actually no way out that Man United kind of pick up from here on. I think sack Ten Hag. Who do you bring in that kind of fixes everything? Bearing in mind, these are supposed to be Ten Hag's players now too. So, there's also the excuse, well, what? You gave him 5 games of them and didn't go your way, but you knew that was always a risk, by the way, because, there always was that risk there. And then you risk bringing someone in who's just going to inherit this mess with all of these Ten Hag players. What do they do? What do they go on and do? I think it's just I don't see both options as a positive for Manchester United, and I think that's the scariest place to be as a fan.
I don't think it matters, Nina. I don't think it matters. Man United are in a place now. Get anyone, have you as a manager. It doesn't matter.
I think they brought in his replacement in the summer. I think his replacement's sitting right next to him. I think Van Nistelrooy was their how can I say it? Their insurance policy. That if Ten Hag doesn't work out, because Van Nistelrooy was coming up as a highly touted, the Xabi Alonso kind of ilk of like these new exciting young managers. So I think his replacement is already there. But the fact that he's there and it still looks so bad doesn't look good on him either. So it's kind of a no way out situation, as Nina said, because you just signed him into a new contract. You lose him. Why did you keep him when you had more? I mean, Nina, one thing I don't agree with you, they had more options in the summer, like because De Zerbi was still available. There was still some managers available before they. I mean, Maresca wasn't really available. I mean, but
Conte
a lot of
was available, bro.
Conte was available.
Of course. I mean, a lot of
Allegri was available. A few, like Thiago Motta was. There was a lot of managers that were available. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But now a lot of these managers have jobs. Now you've got even less managers available.
I mean, I'm hearing that they're looking at managers that are currently in a job at the moment. Like I'm hearing Thomas Frank here and there, and obviously, like that's bizarre to me. But...
I hear
the thing
that.
is, Chelsea did that though. Remember a couple of years ago when they sacked Tuchel, and then they paid out Brighton in the middle of the season at like 7 games in.
That's the point I was going to make. Because for me, like although we're trolling and whatever about United, I still believe they are the biggest team in England. So I don't see why the only people available should be ones that are sitting there on the sofa unemployed. You could go to any team in the Premier League, not any team maybe in the bottom half of the Premier League and be like, yo, I want your manager, go get him. Because last time I checked, they're getting outplayed by teams like Brighton, Southampton are outplaying them. Every meaty team is outplaying them. So there's no this thing of, who can we replace Ten Hag with? Pick any name from that bottom 10 out of a hat, pick them up. They'll do a better job than Ten Hag, in my opinion. So it's not too late if they really wanted to be like, yeah, you know what, Ten Hag, maybe we're wrong, accept the L, but they won't do that, of course.
Hold on. Why would top managers join Man United again?
This is what I was going to say, because you're still going by the fact.
That word, by the way, that word you said, they're the biggest club in England.
They are.
Ship has sailed.
No, but it hasn't sailed. I hate them more
bro.
than anyone here. I promise you, I hate United, but they are the biggest club in England. If you are a manager of, I don't know, like let me not say West Ham because Lopetegui is kind of stinking at the moment. But let's say a team that is like 14, 15, 16.
Yes, okay, I agree. But not a top manager.
United, you don't think like, let's say a Thomas Frank or Marco Silva
Thomas
or somebody.
Frank is not a top manager. He's
better than Ten Hag. The option is to do better.
Yeah, I agree with that, bro. I'm telling you, you're better than Ten Hag. I agree. You're better.
That's his point.
I promise you.
That's his
but
point.
He's saying the Man United is the biggest club. They can pick any name. No. I'm
not saying you can pick. I'm saying
I mean, let me introduce you to Mo. He chooses to hear what he wants to hear. Because anyone that was listening, he said they can go to any team in the bottom half of the Premier League and pluck a manager out. That was the first thing he said.
That are better than
I didn't hear that bottom half.
Any of those teams you go to.
That's because you selectively listen more.
Dog. So it's not as though like
I get it. But to be honest with you, if I'm a manager now and I'm looking at Man United, apart from the money, why would I join the club?
Yeah.
Why? Like, because they were talking in the summer about going to Inzaghi from Inter or something. Like, I'm hearing today, they're talking about Xabi Alonso.
No, that's
in no world Xabi Alonso would choose to go at Manchester United.
That's silly though. That's silly though, because I mean, Xabi Alonso basically going to Real Madrid in the summer. You know, when Ancelotti leaves, that job's just
okay.
There
So let me ask you a question.
None of these good managers.
Would he go?
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. He will stay at Bayer Leverkusen for years before he goes to Man. There's no point. I mean, you're right. No top manager should want to go to Man United at this stage because they're poorly run. I think they've got decent players, but that's just me. But you don't want to go into that situation because it's a very. But then again, at the same time, Maresca went into Chelsea, and Chelsea looked like a dumpster fire, and they look okay Because I mean,
Can you look at the CV of the last few guys that United have been in? Let's say the last 5-6 managers. These are all some of these are like elite all-time managers.
yeah, they're all-time managers,
bro.
Yeah.
They're all-time managers that are still going to United, despite how bad they've been for about 10 years. Whether we like it or not, they still do have the pull of we are. They're going to live off that we are Manchester United for at least the next 15, 20 years until finally.
For this.
Yeah, like it's just that's what's going to happen. So
The
Like,
problem
but
is, I think it's not as. Here is the thing about Man United. It will be 15 years in 2 years since their name has been mentioned next to a top trophy, Champions League or the Premier League. Not winning, and I said that this morning, not winning, just being there. Even Spurs reached a Champions League final. Here is the thing about it. Arsenal were in that boat. They kept like Champions League final 2006, right? And then Arsenal were like always quarter finalists of the Champions League. And then it was round of 16. And then it was, we're always there. And then it was, okay, we're not there yet. It has been.
Arsenal are never as big. Arsenal have never been as big as Arsenal have never been as big as Man United. Arsenal are not in the same category as Man United, with all due respect. So that's why Arsenal, you can kind of, I'm not going to say rub them out, but you could. It's easy to kind of replace them as a big club because they're not your tier A club. Like Barcelona can be terrible for 15 years and they'll still be Barcelona. Same with Real Madrid, same with Bayern Munich, and Man United are in that category. So it's the same as the two Milan clubs. And
always say, I don't think Man United are that club. Do you know why? In England, it's different. I believe in England. If Man United stay 20 years without the Champions League or the Premier League, they will be in a place where we would be remembered. Oh, Man United were good for 20 years ago, from 92 to 2012, right? And it has been 20 years since these guys have been mentioned. Like, there is a difference. In Spain, right, there's always going to be Real Madrid, Barcelona. In Italy, there's always going to be Inter, Juventus, and AC Milan. In England, no. It can change. I promise you this. The reason why Man City now, because another club, Newcastle, if they're allowed to invest, imagine Newcastle are allowed to invest and they start winning Premier League, maybe in 5-6 years, and Champions League, and they start winning, racking up trophies. They can easily replace one of the big clubs. Man City literally are replacing clubs at the current moment in terms of the ranking. How
who have they replaced more in England? Who have they replaced as a bigger club? Who have they replaced? They've not replaced Man United. They've not replaced Liverpool. They've not replaced Arsenal. They've not replaced Chelsea.
Give it 2 years, they will replace Arsenal as the third biggest.
I don't, bro. If they've won 8 of the last 9 Premier Leagues and they still not replaced these big clubs, they're not going to. But it's a stature thing in England as well. You're forgetting that there's a stature thing in England where Chelsea did it over 20 years, but Chelsea were kind of different because it was a little bit before the social media era. And
so you believe it's because of social media and the fan base that they built over the social media?
I think the thing is, and also Chelsea had some sort of history, and there was something about them being that West London team, and just there was a little bit of an aura about Chelsea, bro. Man City are literally
Newcastle are from an area that
and I understand. I think if Newcastle win some Premier Leagues and a Champions League, they could be that club because of I think everything about Man City is just the opposite of authentic. Does that make sense? Like, not everything is manufactured. So I don't think Man City will ever be the biggest club.
Why don't you say that about Chelsea then?
Because I told you, Chelsea have always had some sort of English heritage. Always, even before
Man City won more Premier Leagues before Man City won more Premier Leagues than Chelsea before the ownership of Abramovich. I'm saying, bro.
Even before Abramovich, you had the Italian players.
Yeah, it's like 5, 6, 7 years when they got Ruud Gullit and they got these guys.
Even before,
these are only 5, 6 years.
Bro, name you one Man City legend. One.
I don't know.
From like 25 years ago. Because with Chelsea, you can do that. With Chelsea, you can do that. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't believe that. You're going to erase the history of Manchester City. I don't believe they were a top club. I don't believe Chelsea were a top club as well. But they crawled their way up and they became a club that is well respected in terms of trophies.
I was born and we started being successful, guys. I'm joking. Love
but the point about this is that it can change. This notion that Man United will always be a big club, it can change. Because of the fan base, I'm telling you, bro, people die, bro. And kids are not supporting Man United. How about that? People are not supporting. I live in America, bro. No kid here supports Man United, bro. No one. You will
They
never go
probably
to
do with their
the
family, but they're too ashamed to wear the United shirts at the moment. But I promise you, their parents are
because
probably
their
making
dads,
them.
because their dads and their families are forcing them to support the club, right?
Yeah, but that's normally like how it goes. Whether you say you force or not, normally most people end up supporting whoever their parents support. That's just how it goes. I agree with you. Probably in schools now, growing up, there's gonna be more City fans like that are getting into football, but overall, there's still gonna be United by quite like City have to do a crazy amount to even touch United. I love to hate on United. I hope they get relegated even. But City won a treble, nobody cared. Everyone just moved on. They started going on Twitter arguing about how Haaland surpassed R9, KDB
But
has
when you say
surpassed
no one
Zidane.
cared, what do you mean by no one cared?
As in,
We all
bro,
moved on with our
As
the
in,
days.
day
it doesn't
after,
feel
You
nobody
moved
cared.
on. We are older people. I see kids here. I go to the mosque here. Kids are wearing Haaland shirts.
Yeah,
De
if you want to
Bruyne
watch the kids,
shirts.
then that's feel free in it. But in
10
our
years
world,
old,
not
10
children.
years old wearing Haalands and KDBs and Fodens. Right here.
So what does that
Bro,
mean? Because
bro,
That
the
means
reason
the
to
fan base are increasing. But these kids are going to grow and be 15 years old and 20 years old.
And guess what? They're going to grow up. They're going to hit 18 years old and they're going to realize, City are in League 2. What happened there? Yeah, sorry, we got banned. And then
That's
what?
a different story.
Then they're going to go
That's a
back to
different
Chelsea.
story. That's a different story.
No, it's. I mean, I just think City are just. I don't know, man. It's just.
You
like,
can't force
even
it.
now,
You can't force it.
Yeah. They're so like City are trying so hard to be relevant, and no matter what, yeah, but like every single player they have is in the best player of all time conversation. They're trying so hard, but then none of them
They're
can
lashing
name
out.
anyone before Stephen Island. You know what I'm trying to say? And even he was like there just before the Saudi money, or the Emirates. Like I don't know how this became a City thing, but I feel like United will always be a massive club in England. Same with Liverpool. Chelsea are there now, and same with Arsenal. I think those are the big three in England, and no matter what, there will always be. That will be the situation. I don't think Man United will ever be rubbed out, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, to be honest, maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Look at the poster behind you. Look who's in the middle. It's Wayne Rooney. Why is he still there? Why haven't you changed it? Why have you put Haaland in the middle of it?
When I did this, they were still there.
Yeah?
When I did this, they were still there.
We're still where? I see Aguero wearing a 2017 shirt. Is that? Where were United in 2017? What was that?
No, they were still the legends. It's not now. Bro, Man United.
And I see Paul Scholes another one as well. The ones here left, there's Paul
Next
Scholes.
time I'm
there as well.
invited, I want to see United out.
Okay,
And
I think I said that this morning.
in.
You will never
Durant.
erase the history. You will never erase the history.
I want to see Onana and Ollie Watkins in that.
Only one. We'll put Cole Palmer there in 2 years. We'll see. Cole Palmer will be there. You can never erase the history.
It's already
of club.
printing in the shops.
It's already printing. Yes.
I
want to move on from Man United.
Okay, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the reason why Ten Hag has been here so long, I'll be honest, is because of United fans. And they go perfectly hand in hand in terms of when you listen to Ten Hag speak, there's a crazy level of like delusion where you think there's no way you can believe what you're saying. But he does. And United fans, they lap it up. They genuinely believe that, you know what? It's fine for us to be depressed for 38 weeks, week in, week out. I'm upset watching my team. I'm sad. I don't want to watch it. But then at the end, I'm going to get a Carabao, and therefore it's okay. Realistically, obviously, trophies are the most important thing. Like, I fully understand that. You want to win Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't get paid. You don't get a bonus if you are the one that you don't get nothing for it. You're not going to put a trophy in your yard or like a medal or something. You get nothing other than the joy you had, the excitement, hope for the future. Chelsea fans, I'm sure if you ask now, they're at least excited about the next year or 2 years. They've not won like a Prem recently. They've got a Champions League, obviously, but in the last couple of years, they've been terrible. As for United,
as if it was a domestic cup or something.
No. But like, I'm just like let the point land in it. I'm saying in terms of you've been quite meaty for like 2-3 years now, but suddenly there's a bit of hope where you're excited to watch your team. United are not excited. They go to every week thinking, I don't want to watch this. Is that worth it for like right at the end you get one cup? I don't know.
Do you know?
Can I?
Go ahead.
Go on, Mo. No, I just wanted to add from that. It's actually really funny how time changes because I think over summer, if you ask Man United fans, they probably felt more positive or optimistic going into the season than Chelsea fans did, which is bizarre to think because here we are, nearly in October, and things have flipped on its head so much. You know, Ten Hag out, people saying, and Chelsea, are they in the top four? I'm hearing, you know, loads of different things, and that is an indication of exactly how back and forth it's been with Ten Hag over these last seasons. And I think, you know, the cup final last year as well, that bought him a little bit, last season bought him a little bit of time. And I think around that time, most fans had now kind of leaned into the Ten Hag in kind of fence, to a point where the club said, this is actually great for us because this is exactly what we've wanted. We wanted it to work, pushed it, encouraged and hoped that it would work throughout the transfer window by giving Ten Hag more agency, seeing that he is basically the only best option and could have a leg to stand on with the 2 cups he's won in his time there. And now look. So yeah, it's crazy to me, because I even think last season, and I know I'm not one to chat because Chelsea have been, you know, very abysmal at times in the last 2 years, but the fact is that, you know, United did have a lot of luck as well. Ten Hag had a lot of luck last season. You know, I dare say there's a lot of games that they grinded out results. Yeah, fair enough. But there were many games where it was last minute equalisers, last minute winners, clawing their way up until, you know, they were dropping down further in the table. And then when Chelsea were yo-yoing from 11th to 12th and Man United were in around 6th, 7th, 8th, things again turned. I actually had a bet on in September that Chelsea would finish above Man United last year. And it so happened, but it's the fact that, you know, we came in with the unknown and they came in with the optimism. And now it's just, yeah, I just thought it was a strange thing.
I'm just going to
I'm
say
not
this for
gonna
the last
lie, bro.
time.
I thought
I'm going to say
Chelsea were
this.
going to be poor this year.
Yeah.
I was.
No,
I thought Chelsea
I
were gonna be
always maintain the unknown. And Nina was
Wow.
always saying the unknown. She's like, I have no idea how this guy Maresca will be. I
Yeah.
don't know. We know the players. We don't know how this guy Maresca, and he turned out to be all right. He hasn't proven anything yet. He's 6 games in, right?
Of
This
course,
can
yeah.
all be
anyways.
upside down within a couple of weeks, you know. But in looking at the pitch, they look much better than Manchester United. More organized, more structure, more talent. The talent are showing themselves. Like, you can argue Man United have a good starting 11. It's not showing that on the pitch. You aren't seeing that on the pitch. You're seeing garbage football, Manchester United, and okay football from Chelsea. Very good at sometimes, and not very good at sometimes. But Man United, but they had 1 goal at Old Trafford since the start of the season.
Shocking. Embarrassing.
Wow.
Yeah, so and that was my point at the start of the thing. I said last year there were a lot of excuses for Ten Hag. There's none this year. So like I'm not gonna sit here and
You
just,
concede he's a bad coach.
Can we get like a first, like, my
Yeah,
bad.
can we get an apology?
yeah,
Like,
it's not
can we
fair, it's
get
my-
a-
yeah, my bad.
Can we get you saying like he's
Full
just
screen
a
out.
bad coach, bro?
Oh,
Like,
oh,
he's a bad
I
coach.
didn't even know Mo did this. Like, Mo, relax, calm down. There's no need for this aggression. Like, what's going on? It's very aggressive.
Can we get Ten Hag as a garbage
year,
coach?
the thing is, and Mo, I've always said this in it. Like, I'll always defend the coach generally because I hate this new age of sports where it's automatically just fire the coach when there's other variables that go into winning a game of sports or being good at sports. I feel like last year a lot of things went against Manchester United, and those things are not going against Man United this year. Why do they still look so bad? Why is the exact same thing happening?
Because
like,
he's
just
a horrific coach.
bro, relax. We get the point. We get it. Like, he's not good, cool. But it's
And
but I'm
because
saying,
he's a deluded human being.
yeah.
And he cannot be a leader. I don't know the guy personally, but I'm a YouTuber. I can only analyze what's in front of me. I see a guy go into press conferences saying stuff that I don't think a normal human being would say, asking journalists to analyze games instead of him answering questions. Him saying that we're the 2nd most successful team in England, knowing that he finished 8th. Bro, if you tell me, remove the fact that you don't know this guy and he's a public figure, right? If you ask anybody that doesn't know football, but just give them the circumstance and you tell them there is someone that is responsible for giving lectures daily to 40 staff members, including players, and deliver messages every day, they will tell you this is one of the worst decisions someone can make to put this guy to lead a football team or anything. This guy says stuff that if he's my manager at work, or he's my neighbor, or he's anything around me, I'll say, you need mental, this assessment, bro. Are you serious, bro? This guy goes to press conference, says stuff that I really think it's either someone is telling him to say that on purpose, or this guy really lives in a different universe than us.
No, I told you, United fans believe what he's saying. So he's saying what they want to hear. He's saying, they're like, you know what? They're going to watch their team play bad. Ten Hag will say, yeah, we deserve to win. Like, we dominated, you know, if it wasn't for this missed chance. And United fans who just sat there watching for 90 minutes were like, yeah, you know what?
He's right.
I think he's right, you know. Yeah, we deserve that. Remember, got that draw
you know what
offside.
I said yesterday? You know
what
he said yesterday?
Real quick.
3-0, sorry. 3-0 at home to Spurs. You come in the press conference and say, there is new dawn tomorrow. What the F are you talking about, bro? What is this? It's not real life, bro. It's not real life.
I'm also,
you know, and there's always new beginnings. You just lost 3-0 at home. You're about to get sacked, right? You embarrassed yourself. New beginnings and new dawn. What is this? It's not a movie.
Mo, you know, since I've been coming on your platform and I've been defending Ten Hag and defending Bruno, obviously I've made a lot of Man United friends. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they see me as one of them. But I promise you, there's no more insane fan base that I've ever been. Bro, what Ameni is saying is 100% true. They have no clue. Like, it's like this guy feeds into their ego and makes them believe that they're still the old Man United.
Bro, he was moving like Tupac over the summer. He was saying like, yeah, he was talking about first what Southgate was doing. Then he's walking around saying, yeah, they tried to find a manager, but they realized there's no one better than me. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Like, we can list you 50 managers right now that are better than you. What are you talking about? But they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? 2 trophies, 2 years, therefore he's better than everyone else. We know it's not the truth. You should be judged on the whole. Obviously, trophies, like I said, yes, but the best barometer for success is how you do in the 38-game season. That will show you who's good. You don't win the league by fluke. You can't, like, you need your luck to win it, of course, but the best team will always win the league. And there's bacon off in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, talking about I'm the second best or whatever. And by the way, shameless, because the first best is your local rivals. So are you flexing that you're the second best behind your local rival? That's embarrassing, man.
I'm telling you,
that's crazy, embarrassing.
Can I just say something really quickly, bro? There's 300 people watching, and we're not even on 100 likes yet for more. Why do you not like us? I think it's me and you, Amenia. You know, because normally I come and I watch, and it's like people love it. I haven't been there for a long time.
Is it a racism thing? You reckon? Yeah,
I think so.
Fairs. I think so. My bad, you man. My bad.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, the man.
I think it's a Liverpool guys. You're Arne Slot. What a manager, you man. Let's hit that like button for Arne Slot. He's taking Liverpool back to the top. Van Dijk. Wow. Konate didn't make a massive mistake against Wolves, by the way. We didn't see that. Don't worry. There we go. That should get him a few likes there.
Big up Nina, the GOAT of Chelsea YouTuber. Corrupt judge, stop gaslighting our fan base. Liverpool, we aren't good enough to win the league this season. You are good enough and you're hiding. That's what I'm saying. Liverpool fans are hiding. Bro, they're hiding, bro. Yeah, they don't want pressure, bro. They don't want pressure.
He's talking like he's the one playing as well, bro. Rayan, bro, you're not on the pitch. Don't worry, bro. You don't have to feel the pressure as well. You're not playing. It's all right.
Them, bro. I speak to HUSAM, and he's like, "We're not good enough to win the league, bro. You're top of the league. Your manager has broken records. You have arguably the more world-class players than anyone else in the league. We don't have depth. Okay, fine. When you get injuries, we'll talk. But you don't have injuries now. Anyway, that's for a different day. Cole Palmer. Salad, I'm going to ask you first. Do you think still Saka is better than Cole Palmer?
When did I say Saka's better than Cole Palmer?
You don't think that Saka's better than Cole Palmer? You think Cole Palmer is better?
I think they're quite equal. I think there's one guy that is in that conversation that doesn't deserve to be, but that's a conversation for another day.
We can have it today as well. I don't mind. We can have that same convo because I was gonna say I reckon that's a conversation that I think I literally said it in a video today. That's the convo that we got to let lie because Saka and Palmer, let's get it right. Whether the minutes were different or whatever, they both delivered when they were needed at their most for their countries. They now play different positions, by the way, because Palmer's been operating in a 10 and he's been incredible in recent times. Saka on the right wing. There's another guy who plays in Palmer's position that is currently sitting on the bench after a honking Euros. 0 out of 10.
By the way, let me just add on to that real quick. They tried him in every single position. They
moved Bellingham on the wing like he's Matuidi for France. They move him on the wing. If it's me, I'm saying Palmer and Saka, your fan bases, hold the flag like that, like the Bloods and the Crips, and be like, you know what? The enemy is 47. I'm not going to say too much.
It's true. There's one guy that doesn't deserve to be in that conversation because this is a player who's been in only one system his entire career and needs everything to go his way for him to perform at a certain level.
He won Player of the Year last season, though.
I was talking about Player of the Year last season.
Yeah. Player of the Year who's holding bench right now. Player of the Year because
he's holding bench for other things I can't talk about, but fine.
Listen, he had a good season last year. He scored, he contributed a lot of goals, but you cannot build a team around Phil Foden. You know what I'm trying to say? Phil Foden cannot be the catalyst of your team. You can put Saka and Cole Palmer on Crystal Palace and they will still deliver. That is
you think Saka you can build the team around Bukayo Saka?
They have built the team around Bukayo Saka, and they are the best team in the Premier League. What are you talking about?
They're the best team in the Premier League now.
They are the best team in the Premier League,
You
especially
really
now.
I'm asking genuinely. That's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking genuinely. You think you can get Bukayo Saka and build a team around him, and you will win things?
They have, and they will win the Premier League this year. Bro, now that Rodri's not here, I think the pendulum has flipped. They brought in Gundogan and they thought Gundogan was going to be that guy. Gundogan's terrible now too. Like Man City are in trouble. I think Arsenal, bro, last year Arsenal were better than them. Arsenal went in the second half of last year. Arsenal dropped 4 points. They lost one game to Aston Villa and they drew to Man City. That was the only points they dropped in 19 games. Do you know how unheard of that is?
Of United Twitter and come and join us, man. You got.
Bro, I'm an Arteta fanboy, man. Everyone knows that, man. I'm an Arteta fanboy.
Code. Welcome.
But
man.
yeah, bro. But Mo, they built the first piece of this puzzle for Arteta was Bukayo Saka, and they're thriving now. You feel me? And they are going to win the Premier League. If they don't win it this year, they're going to win. Do you know the thing with everyone that hates Arsenal? Everyone realizes eventually they're going to win the Premier League. If it's not this year, it's next year. They're going to win the Premier League, bro. The average age of their team is so young. Their manager is so young. They've got this incredible amount of talent, and their owners are backing the manager. They're going to win it eventually. And I think it's going to be this year.
Code.
You believe if they don't win it this year, they will win it next year. You believe if they don't win it next year, eventually they're going to win it.
They're going to win the Premier League at some point.
We're all going to win it one day, Mo.
Yeah, I'm like, this talk is like they're going to win it one day.
We're doing it now. You say with chest, we're doing it now, this year.
No. And that's what I said. I think they're the favourites to win it this year. But I'm saying in the next 2 or 3 years, Arsenal have won the Premier League. Definitely. No doubt whatsoever. But I think they're going to win it this year.
I actually
Man City. I'm going to say Man City.
But to be honest with you, I still pick Man City to win the league. I am waiting.
We're not letting Foden get away with that Euros, brother. I'm sorry. I know it happened a few months ago. We're not going to just like anytime we try to forget it. I'm not going to
talk.
No, but I've said what I got to say already. His performances in the talk, I haven't got to say anything. We all watched it with our 2 eyes. We saw what he did week in, week out. Every game he came off. What happened? England won. Okay, no problem. No comment from me. You can go back to City where you're baby.
Okay, so forget what is going on with Foden now because, to be honest with you, I know there are things going in the background. Been told, can't say it, right? Can't say. But you guys believe, in terms of talent, you guys believe if you're ranking the talent in the Premier League, in terms of these 3 guys, and the reason for the people that ask, why do you always have to do the comparisons? Same age bracket, they're all the future of England, they all carry their teams and all this stuff talk. So
the future of England.
So for me, but this is the future of the Premier League, right? So we are comparing them. That is the thing. You think Phil Foden is the lowest of these 3 guys?
I think the top 2.
If I'm off for all 3 of them, yeah.
I think you can rank the top 2 can be based on preference. You know what I'm trying to say? I think if you say Cole Palmer's better than Saka, I'm not going to debate you for it. If you say Saka's better than Cole Palmer, I'm not going to debate. But I just know Phil Foden's not better than either of them. That's just where I stand on the situation.
Obviously, every team's going to back their player, isn't it? But firstly, can I just say, and I'm going to defend all these 3 players because I'm an England fan at the end of the day, right? I am an England fan. Saka, Foden, Palmer, quality players, all for different reasons, all completely different strengths, weaknesses, right? And I mean, Amina, I just want to pick up on something you said about Foden. I actually was one of the England fans that during the Euros cut Foden a little bit of slack, purely on the fact that the first 2 games, Gareth Southgate massively misused Foden, and he was completely ignored by the whole team, which is why he looked as useless as he did. But we're not here to talk about Euros. Anyway, I obviously am here to fight my case for my Cole Palmer boy.
We'll hit the Palmer one, but I wanted to finish because you were saying the first 2 games, but the Euros wasn't 2 matches. Because what I remember,
no, but he
after
continued.
the second game, they changed the entire formation just for him.
But we both know that Southgate refused to the death to change anything about the way we were playing, right? We were playing the same boring football game in, game out, right?
I remember Philip Foden being given the keys. You go in the middle, Bellingham.
He wasn't
go
playing
and
in the
run.
middle though. The first two games.
No, I said after the second game. You said the 2 games, whatever.
Yeah,
From game
He
3 onwards for the rest of the tournament, you go in the middle, Bellingham.
Yeah.
Go and make runs on the byline like a winger. Yeah? Saka. They were moving Saka to left back to get other guys in. It was all around Philip Foden. And what did he give us? 10 minutes against Netherlands where he hit the post that one time. And that's it.
Right. Okay. Moving on from the Euros.
No, that's
we've swallowed that, mate. I'm as hurt of
You
an England
conceded
fan
right
as you
away.
are.
It's crazy, bro.
She just wants to gas part man. I hear it. I would too. I would
Right,
too.
get about it. Look, I think the disrespect on Foden's name is a little bit crazy considering he was player of the season last year, and again, obviously Euros had something to play. He's not starting right now, so it's a lot easier to talk about Saka and Palmer here, considering they're playing game in, game out. Saka, purely from a consistent level, how many games and how many seasons he's done it, season in, season out, consistency there for Arsenal. It's a lot easier to argue that on a consistent level, but then it's unfair because Palmer only arrived last season. Slotted straight in though, the numbers, the goal contributions, we now know that he's been involved in most Premier League goals contributions since he arrived into the Premier League into Chelsea last year, of course, and he's done it in finals, not just for England at the Euros, the equaliser. He's done it for Manchester City in the few games that he played. You know, he was there for about 5 minutes. He scored in a Super Cup final, I think, in a Community Shield final.
as well.
There we go. Yeah, Community Shield final,
And he was absolutely out of this world for England under 21s on their road to the.
Yes,
England
thank you, Mo.
under-21
That was
trophy. He
bringing me on to my other
absolutely
point.
incredible.
So the quality there with Palmer is he can do it in any team. He can do it under any manager. And the thing about him is he can adapt to a situation, a manager system, literally like that. And that's not to say that Saka can't, because we've obviously seen Saka play at Arsenal again, season in, season out. And, you know, conversations in football about players like this can change so quickly, because if Arsenal were to win the Premier League this season, you know, regardless of what stats Cole Palmer ends up with, then people are obviously at the end of the day going to say, yeah, but Saka won the Premier League this season, right? So that's how things change. But at the moment, the way Palmer's playing, the way that, you know, it was the Cole Palmer show and he carried us last season, and he now this season is making the players around him look a lot better. He's, you know, made Nicholas Jackson look like a much better striker. He's feeding into our other wingers, and yeah, big game player. Again, someone that is consistent now. You can see it. Any team, any player, any manager, he can do it. So at the moment, yeah, I'm
Can I
standing.
ask the question then? Can I ask the question for everyone in the chat? If you are, I know I don't bet. I know Salah don't bet. I don't know if you guys bet on it. If you are now to bet on the player to win the Ballon d'Or sooner, is it going to be Saka, Haaland, Foden, Palmer?
Saka first, in my opinion.
Wait, what's the question, Mo?
Who will win the Ballon d'Or first?
If you are to choose between these 4 players
Yeah,
to win the Ballon d'Or, who? Haaland.
I'm saying Saka first.
Again, we've got to bring trophies into this, though.
Exactly. I agree.
Does that give me
No, but Amenya, we're on the same side of the ball as this, bro. They're not winning. They're not giving the Ballon d'Or to Erling Haaland, bro. Like some of the
they'll give. I promise you, they'll give the Ballon d'Or to Erling Haaland before they give it to Saka or someone. I promise you.
I agree with that statement.
It's not what I think should happen. I'm telling you.
It's just
like
what
you
will.
said, if we had to bet,
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my money, so I'm not going to bet on Saka to win a Ballon d'Or, because if let's get it right, if City win everything or whatever, it's going to be Haaland. Obviously, he was out last
I
season,
thought
so
you
that's
back
why
to win the league this season, but fine. Okay, we'll just get to
No,
that.
I'm going to get to my point. That's exactly what I was about to get to, and I'll finish, and you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Haaland's there for the whole season or whatever, he is the one. Just like in the treble year, they were saying give him Ballon d'Or, give him Ballon d'Or. If Arsenal win the Premier League or a Champions League or whatever, they're going to be picking between Saliba as the best player, Odegaard as the best player. We have like a 4 or 5 core players that are all excellent. We don't have one that's far superior to the rest in terms of what they're contributing. Erling Haaland was bagging 40, 50 goals. Of course, that's going to be the main catalyst. He came in and won a treble for them. So that's why I say if City wins something and Haaland's there, he'll be the one that gets it. But if Arsenal win something, just even last year, the Arsenal player of the season, like our own individual one, so I don't even know if Saka even came top 3. I think Odegaard won it, followed by Rice and then Saliba. It's not that Saka's bad or he's worse than them, but there are so many different levels of importance in our team that it's different to Erling Haaland going and bag you 50 goals. That's the point I was making. That's
I think it would be similar to when Liverpool were this incredible team and
Mm.
Van Dijk was the one that was getting the Ballon d'Or shouts. Like Salah was just as important, Alisson was just as important, Mane was very important. Like
I agree.
I think it's a similar situation. I do think Saliba is the best player at Arsenal, like on a global stage. I think in an overall type of situation.
You think Saliba is more important than Saka at Arsenal?
I think so. I think Saliba is one of
But
the
you
best
just
players in the
told me
Premier
that
League.
he built a team around Saka, and then now you said
There's two completely
Saliba's
different
the
things.
best player.
They built a team around Saka, but Saliba's the best overall player. That's
My point that I
very-
said the other day on the football terrace when I was with, I posted a question and I said my answer to it. I can't build my team. Like, for example, Haaland cannot carry a team. Then I need everything to work for Haaland to back the goals, right? Cole Palmer can carry a team. Literally can carry. He did it already last season.
And
Like,
he
that
can
is
do
proven.
more. He can do
And that
more.
is my point about this. Yes, Haaland can back the goals. He's a brilliant striker, right? In this day and age, not in comparison with the eras that we've seen before. In this day and age, he's a brilliant number 9. But again, you'll need someone to provide for him. Cole Palmer provided the same output last season without having anyone provide for him. Actually, it was a horrific Chelsea team.
He creates for
Actually.
himself, though. That's his superpower, and that's what separates him from, I mean, completely different, obviously, players and positions, but he creates for himself, and he can make a bad situation look like an absolutely astonishing one with the finish that he'll pull out, or the assist he'll pull out, or the chance he'll create. And the best thing about Palmer is he makes it look so effortless. Like, I go to Stamford Bridge and I watch him. This guy literally strolls around the pitch after scoring a magnificent free kick, like one of the best I've seen live. And he just, shrugs, gets on with it, does his little celebration. We're singing his chants and this guy's just smiling. He looks like he's, I don't know, ready to have his lunch soon after scoring 4 goals inside one half. And he just knows that he's good. He knows his quality. But the one thing that Maresca mentioned that I really like, because obviously he knew him from his time at Manchester City, is that he's the same guy that he was then. He's a humble guy. He knows he's got quality, but then again, he's not someone that's going to shout at the top of the hill, oh, I'm the best player in the Premier League. He won't do that. He'll just continue quietly getting on with his stuff, scoring his goals, getting his assists, getting his contributions. And we'll see. I'm not going to, get excited. I mean, I believe in Cole Palmer so much that I don't care if he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or now. He could and absolutely has the potential to one day, because he's someone that has shown me, shown Chelsea fans, shown football fans in general that he's got such a high ceiling that he can continue this season in, season out, no matter where he ends up. Some footballers, you just see it. And like I mentioned earlier, the teams he's played at, the players he's had around him, even when he's not been first pick, he still shone under a Pep Guardiola that didn't really see him as someone fitting for the future. Then just get, okay, bye, see ya, moving to London. And
the thing about it, I said last season, exchange Foden and Palmer. Man City still win the league. Chelsea don't finish 6th and don't have the same season. That just tells you everything.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact. I know it's a hypothetical, but I know this, because I've seen them. The difference between Foden and Palmer, I don't think it's like, oh my God, Foden is terrible and everything. Foden is a good player. The talent is there. He glides past players. But I think Palmer, it's a continuation of what we've seen last season. I said last season, I need to see this season. 6 games in, it looks like it's a continuation. It hasn't stopped. It looks like I'm seeing the same things.
Yeah.
I have one slight thing. Go on.
Rumor has it that ever since Cole Palmer linked those Somali brothers in Dubai, his life changed and he's become a completely different player. I don't know if you've not seen that video, but he's singing Somali songs in the back of a car. But it's a conversation.
I know this clip.
There was a couple games where Palmer was a bit iffy this season. Like I don't. Obviously, 4 goals was incredible just now as well, and then obviously Wolves he was bagging. But I don't think he's been as incredible as he was last year, despite him bagging 4 in one half, which is mad. I don't think it's been the same as last year. I'll be so real.
Well, but that's easy to say because he did it for a whole season. He's only just done it for like 5 games.
No, but I've seen him have like honking games this season.
Honking games?
Man City was a bit of a disaster. I'll be like, that was like...
It was the first game of the season against Man City at home. Both teams were obviously coming out of a pre-season. I mean, it meant...
I don't pick the fixture list, It's not for me to pick the fixtures.
Okay,
I'm just saying he was terrible. You mentioned like the big games or whatever, and that was a big game, and he did absolutely nothing. That's not to like discredit Palmer, by the way. I'm just saying the way that we're talking as if he's like steamrolled into this season. He had a bit of a slow start, and now he's bagging, which is.
But he didn't get as much game time as all of our other players did in preseason because Maresca was working out. But yeah, anyways, besides the point.
just a point I wanted to add. Just in case
Yeah, no, fair. I respect your
hat
opinion.
tricks every week or something. You know, that's all.
Okay.
Good.
He still didn't he just create the most chances in this game as well? In that game, and Nicholas Jackson missed a couple of chances.
It wasn't slander
literally-
towards him. I was talking
No,
about the
you
start.
you
of the
wouldn't
season,
do
as in
this
the
for
right at the beginning.
Saka if Havertz missed. You wouldn't. You would say, "Oh yeah, he didn't have a stinker. He created a couple of chances as well."
No, I wasn't talking about the last game. I didn't
You're
mention.
talking
the
about
last
Man
was
City game, the
incredible.
first game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he
talking about his
still
start
created
to
a
the
couple of
season.
chances that Chelsea created and Jackson just missed.
Which ones?
Jackson missed a couple of chances in the first game. Like Chelsea could have been back in the game, but Jackson missed a couple of chances. It was Palmer who created them.
I don't remember the Palmer creation. If you give me a minute and a timestamp, I'll recall it.
I'll go get the highlights and then we'll
Feel
come
free.
together.
Put them on the video for me on the board. I'll watch it.
I didn't think he was up to the same level, but I'm expecting that. I'm not expecting the play. Listen, if Cole Palmer, to be honest, if he plays up to the same level that we're seeing week in, week out, we're completely talking about talking about a different level of football player.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I fully
Like-
agree with all of it. I was just saying,
Like, it's-
how the season started.
I'm not expecting
what I
him
was
to be like, oh my god, the R9, which is every game, I just tearing people apart. You know, like I'm not. Let me do a couple of these super chats before we get out of here. I don't want to keep the guys for long. Andrew here is saying, okay, I will say it again. If we beat Arsenal and City, then I will say it more embarrassing. Arsenal are favorites with no Rodri, all pressure on Arsenal to win. So, okay, so a Liverpool fan, just hear this out, guys. See how Liverpool fans think. Hear this out. He's saying, if they beat Arsenal and City, then they will say the pressure is on Arsenal to win.
What?
I hear it. It's PTSD of last year, man.
Andrew,
You know what happened?
just hear your
Everyone's-
super chat, Andrew. I know you, Andrew. Just hear your super chat. If I say it again, if we beat Arsenal City, then I will say it's more embarrassing that Arsenal are favorites with no Rodri. All the pressures on Arsenal to win. So this is crazy, to be honest.
It's PTSD of last year, because last year everyone was talking about unsustainable and they were crying saying, what are you talking about? Like, we keep on winning, stop saying unsustainable. And then when it became unsustainable, then they stopped.
And then it was we were never gonna win it anyway. Look how
we were never even in it.
But then every game when you're scoring a nonsense goal in the 98th minute, you're like, winners mentality. But then when
They're
you don't
talking
win
about
it,
how
you
it's stopped farewell and whatever for the massive
service.
quadruple. Yeah, right.
Nonsense.
Man.
I'm telling you, if you beat Man City and Arsenal 18 games in and or 19 games in the first half of the season, I will put the pressure on Liverpool. Everyone will. Everyone will, bro.
You're not allowed, man.
Bro, what is this, bro? They're top of the league, beating both teams.
It's like 9 years of being in Pep Guardiola's shadow. That one accident Premier League trophy during COVID is all you can take away from it. But I hear it, man.
I'm not here for Liverpool slander. I would rather Liverpool win the league than Arsenal, but
Absolutely
second is Arsenal.
not. God forbid.
You have Mohamed Salah.
God forbid.
It's definitely. I know one thing. I do want Man City to win the league. That's all I want. I don't.
Bro,
I can't
you know what it is? I Mo, can I tell you that?
Bro, I can't live another season with Man
City.
City.
Mo, can I tell you that? In England, if your team doesn't win the Premier League, you want Man City to win the Premier League because no one cares.
Where?
Like, if Arsenal don't win the Premier League, Arsenal would rather Man City win the Premier League instead of Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United. If Man United
I think this is crazy. Actually, I think this is crazy.
No, but it's true. That's not how it is. You can't force how you feel about something. They say, like, I hate United probably more than like any team there. So you offer me, like, if United are to win something or whatever, it's a completely different scenario. People want City to win when their team isn't good enough. So I sympathize with Liverpool fans because I was in their shoes when we were, meaty fighting 5th and 6th and whatever. I look at Liverpool City title race. I think, okay, you know what? I used to like watching Liverpool growing up, but nobody cares about City. So it's going to be all right, you won the title. Tomorrow we all move on. Let's go. I don't know, go outside. Let's go eat or whatever. Like enough never happened. Simple.
No one cares.
I think people care. If City win the title this season, they surpass Arsenal. They have 11 league titles, 11 league titles, a treble, a Champions League, bro. They surpass Arsenal 100%.
According to who?
The most success. According
to his sticker book where he's collecting all the trophies.
I just wanted to make it clear who
hold on. So how that's not true? If they
What do you
now
mean?
11 league titles, numerous
Mhm.
cups, a treble, a Champions League, in
Because
terms
it's
of the
artificial.
successful.
Because it's artificial.
Okay, now that's different.
Uh,
Now you're saying that this is artificial, but what does that mean? They spent money. If they're guilty, they're guilty. That's a different story. But they won the trophies, bro, on the pitch. This is crazy, actually.
yeah, nah, no one cares about City, bro. Carry on. Let's
United,
Ain't
Chelsea,
care about City,
Arsenal,
bro.
Mo will said no top four Liverpool. Only top four Liverpool. I don't get that, Andrew, to be honest. Liverpool aren't in a top four race, bro. They aren't. Palmer is clear of Saka and Foden. It's so clear. Palmer
Yo,
is clear.
Andrew, love for the super chats though, by the way, man. I love
No,
guys that be spending their money.
bro,
I'm not- shout out to
Andrew,
you.
let me just tell you something, Andrew. I don't think it's that clear of both of them yet. This is too premature, to be honest. Very, very premature, Andrew. I appreciate you. I meant that, Mo. You read wrong. I said we need to win. All right, then. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. So the pressure is on you, not Arsenal. Then, if you beat Man City and Liverpool, appreciate you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much. But listen, people, I'm not keeping the guys for long. But listen, Nina's channel is in the description. Salad. I'm not sure if you're doing content on your channel or not, bro.
Yeah, nah, I upload a couple of NFL shorts. So if you want to see some NFL stuff, go check my shorts out on my
NFL,
channel.
bro. NFL hype.
The greatest sport in the world, bro. What are you talking about?
All right.
Your shit sideways passing sport, bro.
He's had a career change while he's been away.
No, Salad's
What
always
happens
been
when
on
you
the
got
side.
to end up back in Ten Hag the whole time?
And many a guys, first time on his channel. His channel is in the description. YouTube. Where do people can find you, bro? Just let the people
Oh,
know.
bro, honestly, I'm scared of Liverpool fans. You can't find me anywhere, man. I'm just in my house, bro. I'm just in my house, bro. That's it. But yeah, you can check the link in descriptions or whatever. I do TikTok here and there sometimes. So
Yo, people. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know when, but I'll see you when I see you. Thank you for everybody watching us. Hit that like button before you go, and we'll see you guys later. We're out of here, people.
Let's go.